And we are live, it appears. We're a little bit of a late start, but good morning to Go Mode podcast viewers. We're a few minutes deep into a race between Voids01 and Nobly. This is our week 2 race in the 0-1 bracket of our 4 weeks of Swiss rounds. My name is Adilor. Joined today in co-comms with me is Espeon.
Hello. And we are currently a bit into the race, but we can recap quickly what has probably gone on so far. Nobly is currently moving through Kakariko Village, while Voidsoul is choosing to take an early mountain route instead, presumably checking Lost Woods and then looping around to the top of Hera. And from Hera is able to clear out the entire dungeon, kill Moldorm.
Yeah, we've got Nobly's tracker, so we know that Nobly has a fire rod, a glove, and flippers so far. And we don't have Voidsoul's tracker, but we can see in his item box that he does have at least a book.
And Void opting to take an interesting route here, going over to East Death Mountain right away. With Assured Sword, this is a significantly more viable play than in a typical Overworld Glitches race without Assured Sword, because it means that we are able to clear out Paradox Cave. And here is the hammer. A good find for sure. Will allow for more damage. Unfortunate we didn't get it before Moldorm, but what can you do about that?
Yeah, I had to clear out Hera with just the fighter sword, but yeah, the spiral run pays off. Yeah, getting through even through Spiral Cave without a sword is it's really something else. You have like 3 or 4 hearts, and you're having to just dodge the many Moldorms. It's a task. Yeah, with this route, we're going to see Voidsoul go ahead and clear out Paradox Cave for us, or at least part of it. Oh, he's yeah, okay. Oh, he's out of bombs. Oh no.
Oh.
I was like, oh, wait a second. He is out of bombs for the top 5. So in that case, if you ever find yourself in Paradox Cave with 1 bomb, that shop that's on the left side sells bombs.
Yep, and we do have 70 rubies, which is barely enough to buy a 10-pack of bombs.
Yep.
But we can head to Graveyard Wedge here. And hopefully not get... Ooh, we are self-locked. That is unfortunate.
That one's still, even for like me, surprisingly easy to soft lock. You have to, I think a time an upright in midair, and then make sure you don't hold it like too long.
It depends on the setup here, but with this setup, you want to hold up left, and then keep holding it as you hit the ground. And once you hit the ground, you can release left, and you will be pushed over the transition.
That's right.
All right, Nobly heading through Desert Palace here. I believe got both items actually. Because of Quick Swap, it's kind of hard to see what Nobly has, but I believe that he does have a glove and flippers and fire rod.
Yeah, he's on his tracker. Yeah, glove, flippers, fire rod, and nothing further.
And we will be heading into the back of Desert Palace here. So presumably it is a crystal. Not 100% sure. I don't think... we haven't seen a map check at least. One of the runners may have done it, but...
I'm sure we missed our map check, yeah.
Well, I can go sneak a peek at Nobly's stream quickly and see what the music is playing here.
And yes, Voidsoul, just to confirm, did find the hammer up in Spiral Cave. As far as we're aware, that catches us up on items. Okay, there we've got a menu there actually. So yeah. So Avoid also has the flippers and the glove. So those must have been both in like Cackwell or Blindside or something.
I don't believe Void has gone to Kakariko yet, though, so probably in Lost Woods.
Oh yeah, potentially. Okay.
Void chose to take an early Death Mountain route, which typically leaves Kakariko until later.
We'll see back of escape here, enabled by finding an early glove, of course. A whole lot of nothing.
We will be heading to Dark Cross, though, with our Fire Rod. Or, okay, we're not heading to Dark Cross, never mind.
Maybe doing it from the front a little bit.
That seems a little bit better. Meanwhile, on Nobly's side, we do get a Desert Palace clear. No item on the boss, but we do get a nice crystal.
So Voidsel hasn't been to Lost Woods yet. Makes me wonder where our flippers and glove were so early.
Bonk Rocks, Sanctuary. There are a few places that both runners would likely have checked
Yeah.
for sure.
Maybe
Ooh, be
Lake
careful
Island
there.
or the closet. Ooh, that was an interesting transition. Uh-oh.
This is scaring me a lot. Please, Nobly. Oh my goodness.
There you go. Yeah, okay, now we're fine. Going on a little adventure there.
We got dangerously close to some broken screen transitions. If you hit a transition and your camera is not aligned correctly, uh, the game will not like it very much and will probably hardlock you. All right, so here we can clip back from K45 to go to checkerboard. Meanwhile, Voidsel is going to be clearing out Kakariko here. We'll get the
Nice.
Fire Rod.
It's another nice read to have an early glove. Hey, there's a red potion. I believe that's our first bottle so far. And now we're possibly going to see a look at South Shore from Nobly. I believe Voidsoul's going to find just a fire rod here in Cackwell from what we saw earlier.
I believe Powder is also here in Kakariko.
Now, Powder was up on top of a Spectacle Rock.
Oh, is that so? Okay. In that case,
Yeah.
Void will have slightly more routing efficiency here, and we'll be able to clear out Magic Bat.
Yeah, this is really nice.
And just to recap, for those of you who are not aware of what's going on here, we have this is the Overworld Glitches Tournament, and so in Overworld Glitches, we are allowed to use a variety of major glitches on the overworld in order to speed up movement and enable accessing areas that we could not otherwise get to with just the no major glitches rule set at our disposal. And so in the Mentor Tournament, our runners, Voidsoul and Nobly, are assisted by two veterans of Overworld Glitches called the Mentors. Those are Malmo and Obscure.
As far as the format goes, we're going through 4 weeks of Swiss rounds. This is week 2, and this is our 0-1 bracket between Voidsoul and Nobly. There's a Master Sword in and a hook shot in Mini Moldorm. Good finds. And an Ether Medallion, apparently.
And we've got that easily accessible hammer over on Death Mountain, so this is starting to look pretty good for GT. We'd be wanting Cane of Samaria as well, and we'd get a full clear of the basement.
Yeah, that'd be nice to be able to knock that out super early. We are actually just a moon pearl away from having a traditional Dark World access even. So you may not have to see too many DMDs in this one.
So here is an example of one of those clips I was talking about earlier. Void's still going to be clipping into the slope in order to access Desert Palace early. And Nobly also did this one earlier. This is a pretty common clip to do. Kind of expands the typical Kakariko clear into also getting the Desert Palace and some of the desert area items like K45 and Agina's Cave.
Just 100 rupees on Hobo. Yeah, OWG is really interesting. It definitely gives you a lot more overworld routing options because it turns into like normally in No Major Glitches, you just kind of end your opening route at Kakariko and then go to South Shore. Instead, you go from race game to desert. You can clean up K45 and what's his name, Agena, and then maybe if you find a book, you can pick up Bombo's tablet, and then you can head over to South Shore. It kind of makes this more just kind of like clockwise or counterclockwise trip around the world.
Yep. And Void does have these extra items from the trip onto the mountain, the book and powder, presumably. And so these two items will enable 2 additional checks in this loop that Nobly was unable to do. And that is potentially important.
Meanwhile, Nobly's going to give us a look at that mushroom turn-in, which is just $50.
And a blue potion pickup. So blue potions in this mode serve a dual purpose. They are at once both safety items and sequence break items. So time will tell if we get to see a fake flute from Nobly.
Fake flute, a pretty useful trick. Basically, it's classified, I believe, as an overworld YBA. You just use the blue potion, and the same frame you do an overworld transition, and it can activate. It just kind of activates the flute. Pretty magical, and you can use it even in the dark world.
Yep, I will talk a little bit more about the mechanics of how that actually works if we get to see one. They are, importantly, not in logic. They are a useful sequence breaking tool, but never required.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of cool things you can do in Overworld Glitches that are not logical, but definitely help you out. Similar to how in NMG you have several useful sequence breaks like fake flippering and stuff that aren't logical, but they can get you items out of sequence, especially if you find something really good in like Waterfall. Incidentally, fake flippering is in logic in Overworld Glitches. So Waterfall Cave and Zora Ledge, which is via Splash Delete, are entirely Sphere 1. And there's our second bottle in the first check-in castle. Voidsol almost gets the Fire Rod 1 cycle on Landmos. And that is Desert Palace cleared out for both of our runners. Voidsol with a 2-1 crystal lead right now, having also been up on the mountain and cleared out Hera.
So Nobly here is in the front of Escape, which is a bit of an interesting routing decision. Oftentimes you like to leave the front of Escape for later just because it is more efficient to try and route it with Pyramid Fairy, as otherwise Pyramid Fairy is quite isolated. But going here early can be a good gamble if you get an item here. However, personally I would not say to do this, largely because Nobly has still not visited the mountain with its plethora of checks, and so this is maybe a less dense option here.
We do find a blue man on the cell, so that's going to be nice for giving some additional survivability.
Ironically dying as soon as he picks it up.
Voidsol having the book, he can see you can pop right up onto the Bombos tablet. You don't need to mirror to it at all. And just couch cash, so nothing important there. And you see you can just kind of hop over that transition and go right to K45. There's our 10 arrows that we already saw from Nobly. And Nobly is going to now give us a look at the Dark Cross check. Just a heart piece. So we are still on a Moon Pearl hunt and kind of whittling down our number of locations. I don't know if we've seen any Zora area checks either, or Eastern Palace.
No, we have not seen Zora area. I have a feeling that Voidsol went to Sahasrar's hut at the start. That's just like my feeling based on how the timing of stuff worked out.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Nobly here is doing what we call Death Mountain Ascent, which is a series of movements and clips that enable us to get into the ascent cave that has the old man. So here, this is a backup that you. Oh, we are jumping down. Okay, we're going back to try it again, maybe.
So I think Nobly still could have just used the backup even without being camera wrapped, right?
Yep. So there's a backup that is very useful to know in case something like that happens where you jump down in maybe not exactly the right position. Oh, but it looks like Nobly does not know the backup, so we'll be going back to try it once again, which is fine.
There you go.
That's getting it now.
Yep. And that puts you right into the ascent cave, just kind of wrapping around the screen, and you can just go through the cave in the dark. Not logical to do the cave in the dark, of course, but there are other ways to get on the Death Mountain that aren't this specific ascent, so getting up there is entirely logical. Just the old man check itself specifically is out of logic. Oh, there's that book. Okay, that makes sense. So Nobly up here will also find the powder on top of Spectacle Rock, which is also easily obtainable. And having more bombs than Voidsol did, assumedly we'll get to see the rest of the mountain, including the other 5 checks in Paradox. Hopefully Voidsol's not missing something big there, but I'm starting to suspect the Pearl might be up there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Paradox Cave always seems to have something good in Overworld Glitches. At least one thing. I mean, it's 7 checks. It is as good as the entirety of South Shore.
Yeah, it's 7 checks, and they're all in this opening sphere. Yeah. Because even without a hook shot or a hammer, you can always just run across the land bridge.
Alright, Voidsol is going to be picking up their Master Sword and Hook Shot here in Mini Moldorm Cave, as well as Ether, which may or may not matter. And we get to see a Harapot from Nobly here. Again,
the right pixel?
This is allowed in typical rando races, but it is still very useful here.
Yeah, so as far as the stuff you get to see inside the dungeons, it is the exact same rule set as NMG. We're not going to see any clipping to other dungeons or anything. That is reserved for greater glitch categories. So Nobly have a little bit better equipment for Moldorm here. We'll be able to take down this boss in just 3 Master Sword spins, or I'll get knocked off.
Shoulder arm strikes once again.
There's Now we're going to see Waterfall Cave. There's some bombs and a big 20.
Did you catch what was on Zora Ledge? I did not see it.
That was a bug net.
I mean, we do have flippers, so if you really wanted to get it, it wouldn't take too long.
It's a decent safety item. Takes about 10-15 seconds, something like that. Yeah, it's an option. Zora's another big 20. Big ol' scam today. Who's surprised? I'm not surprised.
All right, no bug net.
There's a pack of bombs on the ether tablet, and Nobly will go ahead and head over to get that powder. Probably, yeah, you want that. It's a great safety item, and it does have a single check that it locks.
And Void is going to be heading over to Escape now. I am slightly concerned that Void forgot about the rest of Paradox Cave, because like just doing Paradox Cave is the same number of checks as going here, really, and much faster.
Yeah, I hope he hasn't forgotten or completely written it off. That would be potentially very bad.
That being said, we still do have some Sphere 1 locations left unchecked. As well as, in addition to the Paradox Cave location, we also have King's Tomb, which has not been checked by either runner. I believe Sick Kid also has not been checked because we got our first bottle in Checkerboard Cave.
Voids01 did go to Sick Kid. I forgot what was there, but I don't think it was consequential.
Alright then.
Yeah, he went up after that first bottle in Checkerboard, yeah. Big 20 in the floating island, and now we'll get Nobly going through Spiral Cave, getting their hammer. Just a little bit of retracing before we see some new stuff here.
Yeah, we are starting to run out of locations. There is the Eastern Palace as well. Those checks are, of course, the same as in no glitches. Just a few checks in the front of the dungeon, can't finish it.
Yep. Potential for up to 3 items in Eastern, depending on where they land. Could have one on the boss that we can't get. And could have one back in the dark room that's not logical, but it's Eastern dark room. I'm pretty sure we can all do that. Alright, so now here's Nobly going to get the 2 items on the bottom of Paradox. Well, actually I think it's the top, and then you go up to the bottom. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine.
Well, that's why it's called Paradox Cave, isn't it?
This cave is dumb, and I hate it. Yeah, now we're going to get the new information, see what these other 5 chests are, and I'm thinking Moon Pearl here, probably.
Oh,
I really hope Voidsol gets back there soon.
Moon Pearl or Mirror, for sure.
Wow, really? Okay. So there's just like nothing
cannot
there.
Say I expected that.
That's honestly really surprising, yeah, considering we are in Overworld Sphere 1 is
Nobly, the hover.
That is quite a hover there, Nobly. Okay. Yeah, as I was saying, like Overworld Glitches Sphere early on is kind of like a Sphere 1 Pearl hunt usually, like, and we're not coming up with it just yet. Looks like we may see a Zora area DMD here, or maybe just gonna go. No, what are you doing?
It looks like we're going to Super Bunny Cave actually. Another place that the Moon Pearl can be, because we of course have these minor glitches in logic. Adilor mentioned earlier we have fake flippers, but in addition we also have Super Bunny as an option, which means that the Moon Pearl can be in a couple of Dark World locations. We have these checks up here. Okay, TR is Ether, that is kind of irrelevant, but cool. So we have Super Bunny Cave here, we have a couple of checks in Village of Outcasts, as well as Skullwoods, Ice Palace and Turtle Rock as possible dungeons.
And of course, to do Super Bunny as a bunny, you have to go the long way. And by falling through a hole, the developers never intended for this to happen because, like, in vanilla, you are, as a bunny, you are basically caged into that little area on the on West Death Mountain. I never thought we'd be getting out of there and falling through holes and stuff. So you fall through a hole, you get Super Bunny state, which lets you use your sword and dash and open chests. And in Overworld Glitches logic, these are entirely logical. There's a 50 rupees and a bomb pack.
Well, now I'm wondering where Nobly is planning to go after leaving Super Bunny Cave, because there's not really anything else up here to do. Oh, we get a map check. Okay. So we have a pendant in Mire, Turtle Rock, and the green pendant in Palace of Darkness, as well as the other red crystal in Swamp Palace. We don't know where the other one is, but that kind of doesn't matter.
Yeah,
because
Swamp
we have
and Swamp and Thieves Town were our reds. Yeah.
Oh, the blue potion. You've got a blue potion.
Oh, we might see a fake flute.
Yeah. All right. So, as was mentioned earlier, drink the blue potion on the same frame that you hit the screen transition. This is a frame perfect trick, so you do have to get the drink at the same time. You also need to be able to use the potion, of course, so missing that health is important.
Bunny can drink potions, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm just making sure I'm not missing something here.
Oh, the other red crystals in Thieves Town. I'm just blind.
Yeah. Yeah, we got Thieves and Swamp for our reds.
All right, there we go.
There you go.
So we have fake fluted now to 3, and the game puts us on like a white world screen because that's what the flute is supposed to do. But it leaves us as Bunny. It actually leaves us as Super Bunny. And it also puts us in a state called Fake Light World, where the game internally believes that we're in Dark World, but we're on a Light World screen. So the next time we make a screen transition, it puts us properly in Dark World. And now because we're Super Bunny, we can grab stuff. So we go ahead and grab the front of Thieves Town. And that's something only a Link is supposed to be able to do, grabbing things. So the game lets us grab it. And then it turns us into Link because reasons. So now we are fully Link in the Dark World. But the instant we go into the Underworld like this, we will cease to be Link. We will become Bunny again. However, there's yet another glitch where if you go ahead and go into a dungeon and die, oh, this guy's not cooperating. Please come down and hurt us. Thank you. So if you go ahead and die in a dungeon, you're not supposed to be in a dungeon as Bunny. So it just lets you be Link.
It just straight up changes you back to Link state, and then you are in Link state for as long as you remain in that dungeon.
Alright, so now we get another clear of a crystal dungeon on Nobly's side. It's important to note that this is actually not in logic. Fake flutes, once again, not logical. So, Void is going to be going to... Ooh, okay.
That's a bow in King's Tomb. That points us right at Eastern Palace, yep. Potentially, anyway. I mean, we can get to the back. Like, the boss kill is now logical. That item in the big key chest still isn't. We're still missing the lamp.
But at the very least, this does mean that going to Eastern is no longer terrible, and so now Pearl is probably in Eastern. That is sort of unfortunate, actually.
Moon Pearl on Armless Knights would be a thing that can definitely happen here.
Alright, here's another clip. This is Eastern clip. Do a simple down teleport here, and then we can jump off the bottom of the screen, wrap to the top of the screen, and go into the Eastern Palace entrance. It just works.
Pretty similar to Heraclip, it just works. It just kind of gets you up to the dungeon faster. It'd be really interesting to see if Nobly finds anything significant in Thieves Town. This is could be a I think it's a moderately big sequence break. I mean, it's basically just blocked by Pearl at this point, but I don't know.
I have a feeling that regardless of what Nobly gets here, it will not be particularly significant because this is, of course, Crystal Thieves Town. We have the hammer. This is probably going to be one of the first stops that Void makes in the Dark World.
Yeah.
The most significant thing here, actually, I think, would be the second bow, because that will pull Nobly towards Eastern Palace to get the Moon Pearl, or whatever is here, because we kind of assume that progression is here.
Yeah, that could be a lucky find, yeah.
But of course, that's quite unlikely to happen.
Yeah, that second bow can very much end up very much like an ice rod in terms of going mostly anywhere. The first bow is the one that will be put somewhere where it has logically stuff behind it. Yep, there's our Moon Pearl, Eastern Big Chest.
Not even walked by the bow.
Not even, but that bow definitely helped push him towards Eastern at the very least.
I mean, to be fair, at this point, I think it's the only thing left in logic.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else. We've already cleared out Castle, and that was King's Tomb that led us there, which is already an isolated check by itself, just by default. There's our single arrow in the big key chest in Eastern Palace. I think that's 3 items already.
Well, we're still going to finish off the boss since we're here.
Absolutely. Yeah, we got a triple crystal light world, so these all 3 of those light world dungeons absolutely required. Because in Overworld Glitches, we've got all these extra routing options, but at its heart, the goal is still a 7/7 defeat Ganon, so we're going to have to get all 7 crystals and clear GT. The big difference there, though, GT will generally be cleared a lot sooner than having all 7 crystals, because we don't need those crystals to get in, as you'll see probably not too long here, considering the equipment we have.
Void, please use your fire rod. You can light the torches.
Yeah, don't forget Fire Rod does put the back of Eastern Palace, go killing the boss, into logic, because there are torches in that room.
Ooh, more glitches to explain. Hold on. So Nobly here. Wait, Nobly. Wait. Oh no. Okay, so what just happened? When you die in a Dark World dungeon without Agro 1 defeated, the game believes that you are supposed to be in Light World, because what it does in vanilla is whenever you die before Agro 1 is dead, it just puts you to Light World, because you're not supposed to ever be in Dark World. And so we in randomizer no glitches, we kind of fix this behavior because it's not really desirable and doesn't really make sense. But in Overworld Glitches, we leave it in order to be more faithful to the vanilla game. And as a result, dying in a Dark World dungeon without Aga 1 defeated gives us something called Fake Dark World, which is kind of the inverse of the Fake Light World that I mentioned earlier. The game believes that we're in a Light World, but it puts us on a Dark World screen. So the next time we transition, we wind up back in the Light World. So you can use this as a pseudo-mirror for routing purposes, but oftentimes it winds up being somewhat inconvenient, as Nobly has just discovered.
Yeah, not having the mirror means you can't just immediately pop out and fix it. Because normally if you're in the Fake Dark World, you can mirror and just that fixes it, takes care of it. On Voidsoul's side, we're going to see an interesting little teleport here. You nudge with this, you up teleport, end up on this ledge. You have to go up, pop out, fix your camera by walking right, left. Nope, fix your camera. There you go. Then you can transition left and go right to the witch hut and turn the mushroom if you got it.
You've got glove with the rock.
Thankfully, he's got a glove. Otherwise, he'd have to pop back up the ledge and get around it. But yeah, if you stay up on that ledge, you can just wiggle right, left until your camera's fixed, and then transition left and get around that rock too.
All right, Nobly is now heading to Eastern Palace. Having gotten that bow in King's Tomb, we'll be able to clear out the rest of this dungeon. Well, I suppose the whole dungeon. We haven't even touched it on Nobly's side. We'll be able to clear the entire dungeon in one trip, pick up the Moon Pearl along the way, but now we get to see where Voidsoul decides to go with that Moon Pearl. Has a plethora of options available. Can go to Ganon's Tower, Dark Death Mountain, could go down to Village of Outcasts like Nobly did. Lots of different things we can do, so I am interested to see what is chosen.
It looks like we may be going for a GT clip here.
Yep, not fixing the camera is definitely indicative of GT.
And there we are. That's how you get into Ganon's Tower whenever you want. So since we don't have Samaria for the right side, so we're going to get just 2 checks out of Hope Room, and then we have there's our key, number 2 in Hope Room. Cool. And now we can go entirely through the left side of the dungeon. We do have hammer, hook, shot, so everything on the left side is in logic.
But keys.
Oh yes, we have. Yeah, you're right. We got keys. So the word thing, keys in Hope Room. Do you want to explain the key logic? Because I think you have a better grasp on it than I do.
It's a nightmare. I will just try and keep track and then say if like Rando Room is actually in logic, because there's a somewhat decent chance that it is not actually in logic. It will require 4 keys, given that we already have the big key outside of it. There's 1.
Oh, there's a lamp. Okay.
There's 2 keys. Whoops, hookshotting that block there. Gotta move a little bit further to the left.
Hookshot's hitbox is a little bit wider than you think it would be. So if Rando Room requires 4 keys, 4 chest keys logically, then I think we're already past the chance of it being in logic at this point.
Well, it's actually complicated. We can get a key in Fire Snake Room here, and then we can actually get a key in Ice Armos or the big chest, and that will put Rando Room in logic.
True. Okay, yeah.
It is somewhat silly.
I've actually started to kind of like, there's our 3rd key in Fire Snake, yeah. I myself have started to like actually trying to figure out the key logic for myself, because I think it's the only way I can understand it fully. I've actually started like mapping out dungeons and thinking about it and thinking like, how does this key logic really work? So now I fully understand Turtle Rock, at least, both in entrance and non-entrance. Rando Room is going to cough up absolutely nothing of value.
Alright, whatever. Doesn't matter.
That was his 4th key, yes, but that was his 3rd chest key. The other one was a pot key.
Right side is not in logic without Candace Maria, so no. It's also not in logic even if we did have Kane yet. We need more keys. But that's not really a problem, because with 3 keys, we have enough to access the top of the tower, and then, you can have a key up there. But you don't want to climb the tower and then redip GT, ideally.
Yeah. There's our Quake Medallion, okay. We haven't seen Myra's Medallion yet, so we don't know if that's useful, but we're at 2 out of 3.
That one is accessible without Samaria, logically. Just keep that in mind.
Also, Myra's a pendant, so hopefully we don't need to go into it, but we'll have to wait and see.
Alright, Nobly now finished up with Eastern Palace, has that Moon Pearl. We'll be heading... he's going to fix the camera here, so not sure necessarily what is being planned. Oh, here's the last chest key.
Voids will end up having exactly enough arrows to take out Ice Armos.
This might be a problem, though, if we want to climb the tower.
Yeah, actually, because you cannot get through Mimic Room now. and you're already past the point of being able to pick up arrows. Yeah, the arrow pots in GT are it's a bit of a time investment to get to. Basically, you have to get back to the big room before Bob's chest. There are arrow pots in that room and in Bob's chest room. So if you're watching your arrow count before that, you can anticipate that. But I guess Voidsol wasn't watching it.
Nobly, I am not 100% sure what you're doing here, but it looks pretty cool. Oh, this is. Oh, I see. Okay, so new DMA to get up to Bumper Cave Ledge. You know, I have never seen that before. I'm not convinced this is faster.
I think you just want to clip through this. It looks cool though.
It does look cool. I'm not convinced that this is actually worth doing to like check it blindly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he got 10 arrows out of the deal. That's cool.
That's one of those things that I actually have to test.
Oh, Voidsol's doing a skydive or a super jump, whatever you call it. Or as we now call it, voiding out.
Yep.
So basically, you in the Dark World Mountain, you have your camera wrapped and you wiggle yourself down to that bottom left corner, and you transition south twice, and you do like these 4 screen wrap jumps. And then after that, you transition left, and then you're at the south part of the map, and you have to hop down and then go back to the right. You can fix your camera in Swamp, and voila, you're in South Dark World.
Voidsol did it 8 times in the last race.
It was a lot of voiding, yes.
That's why it has acquired a new name.
And we're going to go right to Hype Cave. There's our last medallion, so no matter what, our Misery Mire is accessible. Again, medallion's less relevant for Total Rock because we have logical access to the 2 middle entrances, so we're not as worried about medallion access to TR. And even illogical access to the bottom of it. There are a couple of not too hard ways to get into the Laser Bridge entrance we might see later, especially since Malmo is a Voidsol's mentor. Malmo loves getting to Laser Bridge.
Oh, I just realized we are on both runners' sides. We are in Mirugo mode. That is all we need because of we have both Cane dungeons as pendants.
Yeah, and we've already found our big key. So actually, yeah, we just need a mirror for Swamp.
Yeah, this was actually surprisingly nice. Gave us a lot of things in White World. Pretty much everything you need. Swords, fire rod, hammer, hookshot, glove, the flippers, moon pearl, of course, and then the bow and King's Tomb. And that's like everything you need.
Yeah, this is honestly a really nice seed.
Careful. You don't want to say that too early.
It looks like a nice seed at least. Hey, you know what? I'm not afraid to commentator curse a seed. I will be a-okay with taking the blame on this going like another hour or so because the mirror is in an awful spot.
Oh yeah, there are plenty of awful spots for a mirror to be in. But for now, we are going to get a Mire Shed check here, and over here, Mothula fight. Oh, we did get silvers. I did miss that. Was that on?
I think that was Dig Game.
Yep.
I missed it just barely, but considering Void, that's just what Void just got, I have to assume it's Dig Game. Yeah.
Nope, we're having a bit of trouble with this moth fight. It is Master Sword, Fire Rod. We do have half magic, which is nice, but it is a rough fight with just the Master Sword.
Yeah, Moth is still a jerk.
I think we saw Mire, but I'm not sure what it was. I didn't check. I wasn't watching Nobly.
I'm like watching this tense Mothula fight. Yeah. Yeah, Voidsol probably looked at it and moved on. If Voidsol even looked at it, covering all 3 medallions, you might not even care.
I think I would still check it, if only for the information whether it was Quake or not, because that tells us if Kane can be in there.
True, yeah.
Alright, Void Soul now also heading to North Dark World via a classic DMD here. This is like the more typical thing to do that Void is doing for Bumper Cave. You run up and check the item from the outside before deciding if you want to actually clip up there. Yeah, I don't think it's worth doing the cool clip.
And these two runners will be having a high five shortly here, maybe, as Void Soul's heading into Skullwoods while Nobly is... I think Nobly's clearing back to front.
Looks like it, and here we go.
High five.
Ooh, sync. We're both going in.
Actually, yeah, we're going to get this chest at the same time. How cute. Well, that's a cape. Not really needed to get anything in particular, but it's nice to have nonetheless. Wolf is going to catch a ride on the Wallmaster and head back out.
I did not see if we got an item on Mothula.
I think Moth was a compass or a map.
But it looks like we're leaving Skullwoods anyway, so I think Nobly got the first item in the front or something.
Either that or Bridge. Yeah, I think Bridge Chest may be the other item. So Nobly is piecing out.
Pretty sure Bridge Chest was a key.
Oh, okay.
In any case, Nobly is heading now back to Village of Outcasts. Earlier, Nobly decided to fake flute over here and enter the dungeon, but then forgot about fake Dark World and was kicked back to Light World without being able to get C-shaped house. And the last item was the mitts. What? The mitts? No.
Oh. Oh, okay. Interesting.
So Nobly here is going to be finishing up Village of Outcasts, getting that shovel we did not get to see on the first loop around. And now we'll be able to head south in a more normal transition rather than breaking the game's world state. No, it's not faster to lift this rock. Don't do that.
Yeah, you're better off just dropping the ledges on the right side and running left.
Alright, and Void heading into Mothula now, while Nobly gets the silver arrows, an amusing reversal of what we had earlier. And a
much better Mothula fight. Yeah, that was way easier.
I mean, it's the same gear loadout. Void has more hearts, but still Master Sword and Fire Rod with half magic.
Yeah, it's just pure down to pure Moth RNG, really. Depends on what Moth wants to do and how many hits you can actually get.
Alright, so Nobly is going to be coming up on Hype Cave, and that will finish up the checks that we've all seen so far. I don't think Nobly checked Mire Shed. Am I correct in that?
No, yeah, Nobly went down to Dig Game and then back up to grab the frog and then just did not go to Mire Shed, no.
Yeah, I don't know. I disagree with that. It's 2 items and you get to check the Mire Medallion, which even if you don't really want to go into Mire is still an important thing to know. There's the mitts.
You still want to know, yeah.
Wait, you got all the items. Please leave. Are we leaving? We are considering. We're not leaving. Okay.
You can Wallmaster on this tile. We're going to get that shovel check pretty quickly here, too. Nope, big 20. So finding the myths is interesting. It gives us easier access to Ice Palace, which is nice. We don't have to do any of the more one of the wraps to get to it, but I don't think you really want to see myths that badly.
I personally would not want to see myths, just because myths sort of implies what Nobly is doing right now, which is Smith Chain, which is not something you want to do. Especially with Mirror Go mode. Do you really want to do like all of Mirror with Smiths?
Do you want to find Mirror in Purple Chest? Basically one of the worst places for it in NMG or OWG.
I mean, it's one of the worst places for it, just always.
Yeah.
I did forget that Nobly has not gotten these extra checks in Kakariko, like the Magic Bat, Sick Kid. So this is a bit denser for him than it will be for Void. So this is not as bad.
It's a good little cleanup trip, yeah.
I still like super disagree with going here over GT. I mean, just because it's GT, it has like 20 items.
Yeah, and it's worth noting that to talk about GT a little more, in no major glitches, the seeds you generally see people play like open standard, etc., not OWG. GT has this part of the algorithm when the item filler gets to GT, it has what's called a GT junk fill, and it chooses a random number. I think it's between like 0 and 15, and it fills that number of checks with junk, like so heart pieces, bombs, arrows, rupees, etc. That part of the algorithm is not active in OWG. So considering that the GT basically is, you just need like hammer, hook shot, fire rod, Samaria to clear out the entire thing. You can often find good stuff in that dungeon. So when you have even part of it available, like left side, you kind of want to go for it.
It's actually kind of a fun bit of trivia. The GT junk fill in No Major Glitches is proportional to the number of crystals required to enter. So if you have a full 7 crystals, then it's between 0 and 15. But if you only have 4 crystals, it's like between 0 and 7 junk items. And then if you have 0 crystals to enter GT, it will just never get filled. So you can kind of think of it like we have 0 crystals to enter GT in Overworld Glitches, because of course we have the clip in. And so it is it's 0 junk fill.
Yeah.
OWG are doing another fake flute. This time just to save some time and get over to Ice Palace here. Oh, we're going to Ice Palace. Great.
Ice Palace the normal way. No shenanigans to show off to get in there. There are 2 interesting wraps you can do to get in to Ice Palace from the Overworld screen to the west of it, but we won't see either of those today.
And of course, we do not have Cane of Samaria, so we will not have access to Icebreaker. We're going to have to do this dungeon using IPBJ.
Not that we even want to see Cane at this point, because Cane just gives us more stuff to look at.
I mean, personally, I would be okay with Cane as Nobly, because it just means you clear out the entirety of GT in one shot.
Sure. I
But
wonder if maybe that's Nobly's thinking right now, maybe. Yeah, but from the commentator curse perspective, I'm okay with Cane personally, because that means we could go hunt a mirror in like Turtle Rock or something.
That is mean.
I can get a bit mean in the comm booth. Don't be surprised.
We are also still on Master Sword for both runners, so that is also interesting to see if we will be able to get Tempered Sword. Would make the Genin fight much easier, as well as the GT climb. But we are currently on Master Sword Silvers for that fight, which is not too bad, but not ideal.
So on Nobly's screen, we got a classic Ice Palace bomb jump here. Not quite getting the right pixel. You want to have 1 pixel between the sword and the shadow. It looks good. There you go.
Mirror on Vitreous. Oh no. I mean, no, worst possible place for Mirror's pedestal.
Yeah, look at all those pendant dungeons we could clear. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Void has checked Lumberjack, but we didn't get to see what it was. So I'm just kind of assuming that it's not important, or at least that it's not Mirror.
Nobly, that's ether. That doesn't help you with the pegs. Yeah, I think if Lumberjack was a really important item like Mirror, we would have seen that already. We would have seen an Aga.
Oh yeah, no, Void would be actually both of them would be going there as soon as possible. Whoever checked Lumberjack.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, Aga seeds don't come up terribly often in Overworld Glitches because you significantly less often need to clear Aga for Dark World access. So it's basically down. Yeah. So it's so it's basically let down to: is there an item on Lumberjack that you need to get, like a mirror? And if you do have an item on there, then there's some incentive to get that, because that gives you a nice convenient portal in the middle of the world, which can save you having to do like some super jumps and stuff potentially. I've had a couple seeds where it's just like you don't get a glove for basically ever, and having a portal in the middle of the world would have been really nice. I haven't seen anything good in Ice Palace just yet, but it's a crystal dungeon. We're going to clear it out because we gotta.
Looks like Void Soul is also opting to rescue the Smith, which is interesting. I really feel like we should have seen a GT climb by now. From Void at least, just because it's basically free items. Alright, I think that is an empty Ice Palace then.
Yeah, it looks that way. Might be seeing that GT now from Void Soul.
Yep, no camera correction, no mirror. Almost certainly GT. Although I expect we get, Spike Cave in the middle here. Now that we have the cape, we can go ahead and do this. He's no Samari here again. Okay, it's not, it's 10 arrows.
Just 10 arrows, yeah. And Nobly has taken down Cold Stare, giving them, that's actually 6 crystals. We're just trying to, we just need the mirror for Swamp at this point. That's all we got to go.
Boy, that is not the hook shot. Well, seems we're okay even without that hook clip there. Just gonna buffer straight into the wall. The hookless method.
Looks like Nobly's finally gonna get into GT as well.
Yep, Nobly will be clearing out the entire thing here, aside from the right side, of course. While Void only has the tower left to clear in Logic. And nobly is choosing not to get Spike Cave, even though it is accessible, which is a little bit of a gamble. It will pay off, assuming that he does not go back and check it later. Because we know it is, of course, junk, but nobly doesn't know that. So this is possibly a calculated skip.
Potentially, yeah. Yeah, it's worth noting that once you're in GT, you're in Overworld Glitches, if you've not done the cutscene, which of course you'll probably never do, you're stuck in there. You cannot leave the dungeon without save and quit. Because if you try to leave, you're just stuck.
Yeah, there's just the wall in the way. It's a little bit funny, like you're at the top stairs, but there's just this big wall, and you can't even open it from the other side.
Yeah, there's no stairs. You're just hanging out right there, nowhere to go. Void Soul's in the Gauntlet here. This is a pretty nice equipment set for Gauntlet, actually. We got half magic and fire rod, so this is you have the option of using that on all the Stalfos if you so desire. Silver arrows is nice to have too.
So a little bit of fun current events, I guess. Current events in A Link to the Past. Yuzuhara, who is one of the foremost A Link to the Past glitch hunters and tassers, recently discovered a new task strat for the Landmost 2 fight, where you just put down a Samaria block and do a double spin with Tempered and kill all of them instantly. It's really good.
So it looks like, yes, I saw that video this morning. It looks like you have to. Does it take RNG manipulation to get them to pop up?
Yes, it is. Time? It is. Well, to get them to pop up at the same time, you just wait in the room before. Ooh, nobody's doing Mimic Clip here.
Ooh, interesting.
Spicy.
I don't see this too often. Yeah, Nobly is one who can do Mimic Clips and hover. So this is well, in theory, really interesting technical option.
I am more interested in the fact that nobody is choosing to do this before actually clearing the bottom of the dungeon. Like, nobody has not done the basement. It's just like got the big key and is heading straight up. So I don't know about this.
Yeah, this is I don't know. I'm not sure what to think about it. This is an odd play.
Oh, that is a Ganon Ball Z dash. Nice.
Personally, I prefer to just quick swap with the cape if I've got it, but you can just take the iframes and dash through, yeah. Nobody's showing off Fire Rod Half Magic Gauntlet. It's super nice.
Alright, so here are the chests at the top of GT. Will they contain the all-important mirror? No, but we do get a bottle with some red potion inside.
Pre-filled red, not bad.
Alright, one more chest here before we no longer have anything left in GT without Kane. Void, no, please do spins on Moldorm. That was a poke.
That was a poke, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, he's getting knocked off anyway.
Nobly seems to be having a little bit of trouble here getting the last silver on Landmost. There we go.
And Moldorm is being a bully like usual.
Yeah, personally, I would just pull out the hammer here and use that. Trying to line up the spins on the platform can be a little bit tricky.
Yeah, if you have a good handle on Moldorm's movement, just don't poke him.
Please don't slash. Oh,
I think it's 4. No, that was 3. And now he's at 5.
Yep.
Or that was a poke. Yeah, now you got to deal with this. All right, well, it worked out. It wasn't ideal, but we got through it.
And Nobly is on 1 heart, which is slightly concerning. All right, we are going to get out a potion and drink that. Good decision.
Yes. There's a time you should heal. It's in the GT climb. You don't want to have to do all this over again. Trust me, I've been stubborn up here too many times. Just heal. Nice triple. That was solidly pretty good. All right, so Void Soul's taking care of Aga 2. That is the GT tower. What did I just say? Ganon's tower is complete except for the right side, and Nobly is on his way up right behind him just a little bit.
And you can see that is a spot on the tracker here, on the right side of the tracker under the mirror, which we are amusingly looking for. You can see the GT icon, because of course this is not limited to be at the end of the game, so having a tracker icon for it is very useful.
Yeah, Nobly showing off. Yeah, 3 spins on 3 Master Sword spins, much better. Oh, there's our flute on Pyramid Ledge. All right.
So where could the mirror be? Personally, I am feeling Palace of Darkness, just because we had that early bow.
Yep, Pod's a great option. You got 5 items in that dungeon to find. No, 6. No, 5. The swamp is 6.
It is 5, yeah. Wait, Void is going to Lumberjack. Did we not get a Lumberjack check?
Maybe not. Or maybe Void just opted not to look at it early. All right,
Well, now I'm worried.
That's a big 20. Okay, nothing there. Also, yes, chat, good point. It is green pendant pods. The value is increased.
Yeah, so pod from both an item density standpoint and from a sort of reading logic standpoint. And
Yeah,
in addition, all of our other options are kind of bad because we've got Caneless TR and Caneless Mire.
Yeah, no. Pod is good. We've had a bow and a hammer for basically the whole game. Yeah, it seems very reasonable to go there. And having a flute now, you can just hop over to 5. No big deal. I guess that was Void's reasoning there is, oh, I've got a flute. I can activate that and check Aga while I'm going from Sank. So, yeah. Except we're not immediately going to 5. Where are you going?
Nobly also going to be activating flute. What is this? We got flute at like an hour 10 minutes, and we're both runners are activating it. Oh, this is
purple chest hammer pegs, isn't it?
Oh, did we get hammer pegs already? I'm pretty sure we saw hammer pegs at least on one runner's side.
Oh yeah, you're right. So it's just purple chest. Okay, well you can save and quit and go to 7. Yeah.
Nobly is doing maybe the exact same thing. But I think Nobly has also not done purple, or not done hammer pegs, sorry. So that will be some slightly added efficiency.
And now Voidsoul's going to head into Ice Palace. We know there's nothing in here, so we'll have to see what Nobly does next. Well, I guess Nobly hasn't checked Bombo's tablet yet. Yeah. Just use your hook shot, Nobly. It's easier.
But is it faster?
With quick swap, probably.
I'm actually not sure, because doing the hookshot is actually not that fast.
No, I was talking about for killing the vulture as being a pest.
Aha, yep.
And now we flute to 5?
Flute to
now
6.
We're 6. What do you do? Oh, wait, nobody didn't check Meyer's Shed yet?
No.
That's a Bombos, okay. I think Bombos was our second medallion we found.
It was the one in Hype Cave.
Yeah, okay. You're right.
I think third for Void, second for Nobly. Because Nobly did opt to skip GT Basement.
Oh, we're actually going to Caneless Meyer. Okay.
Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah, this is a very interesting moment of this seed where we've got a lot of options. Some of them are objectively more preferable than others, but you can make a wild play, and if it works out, then this could be a very, very big turning point in the race.
And Nobly has made a big gamble in skipping GT Basement.
Also that, yeah.
We can't fix the title for him. Sorry. I'm gonna make a mental note to Timp to pester him to let me change the titles.
Oh, yeah. Just give us bot permissions or whatever, yeah. Just a quick little summary of what's going on here in case anyone's just tuning in. We're about almost an hour 20 deep into an Overworld Glitches race. We've got 6 crystals on Nobly's side, 5 on Voidsoul's. Voidsoul's in the 6th crystal dungeon as far as what they've cleared. We are just looking for a mirror to get into go mode, and we need that for Swamp Palace. And as far as new information, Nobly is digging into Meyer here. Caneless Meyer, no less. These are checks we have not seen yet. And yeah, that's totally true. Every time you're in Meyer and you're not in go mode, like you're digging it for items, the big key always pops up in a really nice spot. But it's when you want to go mode Meyer that it's like your 6th check. It's over in the map chest.
You know, it always feels that way, but it's the big key is evenly distributed. It is a 33% chance exactly.
Well, of course, but you know, it always feels like it's like, oh, well, of course it's over here, the last possible check. No items so far. Okay.
Yeah, doing the cutscene just for a compass.
feels bad every time. Continuing to make his way on items. There's a small key in lobby.
And we get a door state extension here. Attempt at least. So this relies on the same principles that govern Icebreaker, where you can be partially outside of a door, even though you're not actually you have door state, but you're partially outside of a door. So the game lets you just kind of go through solid collision because it is programmed well.
Nothing wrong with this game at all. Well, there's a shield. Well, that's cool. And the other item's on Vitreous. Well, that was not a good play overall. I wonder if maybe Nobly's feeling behind and feeling like he has to kind of go for the spicy plays.
Yeah, these are some really spicy plays we're seeing here. Skipping GT Basement especially. I don't know how I feel about that. Alright, and Void here has also now picked up the 6th crystal, so North Runners having completed 6 crystals and GT, so we are just going to be looking for the mirror. Whoever finds it first will be the winner. Most likely. I'm not gonna attach a 100% to that because crazy things can happen still. But
yeah, it's quite likely that whoever finds the mirror first will win this race. But yeah, obviously, it is still a rando race. Crazy things can happen. I think Nobly's going to go for TR next.
Gotta also pick up Hookshot here on the way.
We have not seen this yet, actually.
Yeah, I think the only trip we made to Dark DM was
oh no, that's Samaria. Oh no. And
okay,
a third sword. That's nice.
Alright, and it looks like Void is also going to be heading over here, getting Hookshot Cave as well. So we'll be picking up the Tempered and Samaria. And so I imagine with Samaria we just head straight into TR. Okay, Nobly is not going to TR.
Maybe this is a reroute to GT Basement now that you've got the entirety of the basement open and Spike Cave, I guess, yeah.
But I think Void will go into TR.
Yeah, because you just found Samaria. That puts that whole dungeon accessible except for the boss. Can do it from the top, maybe?
Wait, who checked Super Bunny Cave? One person checked Super Bunny Cave, but I don't remember who.
I think that was Nobly. Wait till it's going for Catfish, though, showing us that little descent. You can just plop yourself straight down here. Oh, maybe Voidsol runs to Pod now.
Actually, that was probably the original plan, is to go to Dark DM into Palace of Darkness, because this is a pretty typical route.
Oh yeah, he's gonna clip himself down here. Yeah, okay.
So getting the cane maybe changes your plan, but maybe you also just want to stick with what you did originally. Nobly, on the other hand, is going to go to check Pedestal.
Wouldn't it be glorious?
No.
But everyone loves a ped seed, at least from the observer's perspective. Just couch cash a day, no such luck.
And Nobly is heading to Palace of Darkness as well, going to be coming in from the Flute 5 spot instead of the fun Overworld Glitches way.
So both these runners are like saying, I know I just got a cane, but heck that idea. It's so late. We're gonna stick with stuff that's been available longer, and I think that's the correct play here.
So making our way through Palace of Darkness, key logic is of course exactly the same. So the front of the dungeon is going to be mostly small keys, at least 4, possibly up to 6. And then the back, of course, will have most of the items, as it usually does.
Yep, that's Pod's general rule. Yep, 6 keys possible. I've seen a grand total of 1 6-key front in my random lifetime.
I computed the odds once. I think it's something like 0.2%.
That seems about right, yeah. For how many times I've seen it, exactly once. Yep, usually find 4 keys, and keeping track of those keys is pretty important because when you have a good grasp on Pod's key logic, that can help you determine whether it's worth checking the big key chest and or Hellway.
Yep, so in this instance, we got the big key and a heart container in the front. No, don't try and jump down there. Just reset the super tile. You could also quick swap to cape, actually, and that would also work.
Yeah.
Be able to cape and get right past them.
I mean, you did just find some area you could super stairs there. But I guess you don't get to bonk with the bridge chest there. But yeah, super stairs is cool to see. See a nice hammer jump to get over here and go through Dark Maze either direction. And this is pretty good for mirrorless pod routing. If you have the mirror, you can obviously just get to the big chest and mirror back to the front. But when you don't have the mirror, you kind of want to route pod in more of a all-inclusive trip through the dungeon. So you can hammer jump and only have to go into the Dark Maze in the reverse order and just kind of walk out and then go to the right side here, the other part of the back.
Yep, important to route this in a way that will allow us access to the boss, because the boss has at least 1 item, possibly 2.
I saw 2 keys in the back. That means Hellway is worth checking. It's our last bottle with another B.
It looks like Nobly is actually rushing the Palace of Darkness boss here, having entered after Void, but is going to the boss slightly ahead. So that could be interesting if it winds up being mirror on pod boss. Yeah, pretty unlikely, but that would mean that Nobly's routing here, being like a little bit more aggressive, would be paying off.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna get that item basically around the same time. That puts us into a very, very close race situation. If it's not here, then I think we go right back into Divergence Town, having to choose, pick your favorite dungeon. You've got like Voids01 hasn't been into Mire yet. Neither has been into Turtle Rock. Yeah, you've got some options still.
I actually think, the first thing you do maybe is go turn in the green pendant, just to check that. And then I think on Void's side, you probably want to go into GT, honestly, because there's 5 items there, locked by Kane, I believe, exactly. Yeah. So that is pretty good. Now, on Nobly's side, you maybe are concerned about going back to a place that you're already kind of hard skipping, and maybe you dive TR instead. Alright, so Nobly is going to be finishing up Palace of Darkness slightly before Void. About 1 Helmasaur fight. There is a unique item, but it is not the one we are looking for.
I saw some blue and I was like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, so nobly has not yet finished Palace of Darkness completely, only rushing the boss, so he will have to go back in and clear out the backside now. But now the question is where Void is going to opt to go to. I have a couple of options here, none of them particularly great.
Yeah, so having save and quit, he's gonna go. Is he gonna? Is it faster to run from here or from 5?
It is much faster to run from Link's house. Fluting is slow if you can just run, usually. I hope that people were calling this a kind seed 45 minutes ago, receiving some self-reflection. Yeah, how do you feel?
Like I said, I will take the blame if this. Like I said, I'm fully prepared to for this to be all on me for cursing the seed, and the mirror being in a terrible, terrible location, because I am happy to have more race time to watch.
Well, it certainly doesn't seem like a very good location so far, and there is still the potential for it to be in some pretty bad spots. But it is at least not on Green Pendant.
Yeah, we know it's not on Green Pendant or the pedestal.
Yeah, we have checked pedestal, at the very least. Now it looks like Void is heading back to Ganon's tower now. Armed with the Cane of Samaria, we'll be able to finish out the basement all the way.
Yeah, more and more is starting to look like that Samaria may actually be required in this seed, because it's down to most of our checks are locked behind it. There are, of course, a couple of items in TR that we can get without Samaria, but a majority of the dungeon requires it. If you're going to do this, you should powder the anti-fairy or the bubble first, because it saves you some lag frames.
Does it? I guess with quick swap it is maybe worth it. I am not sure if the lag frames are enough to actually justify doing that.
Yeah, with quick swap, yeah. Obviously, if you're doing quick swap, then you save yourself a menu and just do it like this.
I mean, the real question is, have you timed it?
Not strictly.
Then how do you know it saves lag frames?
Because why wouldn't it? It's a sprite that's not on screen.
And this game is unpredictable with its lag sometimes.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I may be operating off of hearsay, but there are people who are smarter than me at this game that tell me things, and I'm willing to believe them.
Looks like nobly has actually not gone to Zora area, so we are going to get a Zora area check. Nice.
Zora area at hour 35. Oh, don't touch it.
Void, no. Void got knocked into the Wallmaster by a fireball. That is unfortunate.
That was really unfortunate. That room just has like a certain rhythm to it, and if you're off that rhythm, it becomes extremely unpredictable and can be honestly terrible.
Alright, we are through this time, so we will be able to check these 4 chests over here. Hopefully one of them is the mirror. The last thing you want to see here is Ice Rod. That is the one thing you don't want to see.
Yeah, Ice Rod would be a quite a find.
Please, where is it? We are really starting to run out of locations here. I'm, like, at this point, I think one of the few things Void has left is Turtle Rock, and then, like, the Mire dip, but you don't want to dip Mire, so I think we are going to Turtle Rock.
Yep. Yeah, the TR is out of the two options, really, it's much more reasonable. And Nobly in particular, Nobly's already done part of Mire. Like, you're extremely disincentivized to go back into Mire because if the mirror is on Victorous, you are 100% hard last locationing that.
Nobly does appear to be having some problems with this clip here. I'm not sure whether he's going for King's Tomb or Graveyard Wedge, but the inputs are the same for both of them. So this is a little bit unfortunate. This clip is pretty easy to get stuck on if you don't input everything in exactly the right way.
Oh,
we're going to...
Oh, he's doing the mirrorless
Yeah.
laser bridge. I like this actually. This is a Malmo special. This is what this is.
Oh yeah, I was actually in the voice channel right before this race, and Malmo was actually teaching Void how to do this right before the race. So we are seeing kind of new tech here, newly learned tech, fresh out of the fresh off the drawing board. That's not really a phrase, but I couldn't think of anything.
It works. He's not quite getting the inputs just right here, but thankfully this one's it's kind of hard to do wrong. Like, as long as you're still up here, you can have infinite attempts at it.
Yes, Malmo did roll this nonsense. This is Malmo's fault.
It's a Malmo seed, 100%. Yeah. So the inputs on this are pretty interesting. You have to pop yourself up here, tap down, dash turn right. I think you buffer a down right, and then you do a little hop, and then I forget what the next step is.
That has to be a quick hop, actually. So I think that's what Void is currently on, is this quick hop. Yeah, so this is the problem. That has to be a quick hop right there. That would all jump. Meanwhile, nobody is going to be heading at the TR from the front. What is this? This is blasphemy.
Yeah, generally in Overworld Glitches, you will see people enter TR from the middle. You can just clip yourself down onto the Dark Mountain ledge. Okay, he's got it. So then if you get that first quick hop, you wrap around, and then you have to quick hop again, and you plop down the land bridge. You transition right, and you do that wrap, and then you're at the ledge, and you can just go up into the bottom entrance.
Oh, did you just see what Nobly picked up though?
I did. Was that the ice run?
It's the ice run.
Ice run TR. Yes, we are going to Cinaeth. Let's go.
Oh no.
Mirror on Cinaeth, please. I mean, if it... Oh, no, it's not Laser Bridge. Void's got it. Let's go.
Aha! Mirrorless Laser Bridge.
Malmo is going to be so happy about that. I guarantee it. Because I think Malmo's been looking for some really good justification to get into a mirrorless Laser Bridge, and that just paid off hard right there.
Yep, if you don't do that, you have to clip into the middle, look around for the big key, go up through Crystal Roller and the Dark Room, and the big key can even be in the front of TR here, so it's could be a long trip to get it. But, you can just go straight to Laser Bridge, and here's the mirror. What is going on with... Oh, wait, this is interesting. I've never actually seen this before, but this is Death Mountain in a Dark World palette.
Oh, it is. You're right, because
nobody took a death in the dungeon.
That's right.
I don't think I've ever seen that before, so I was slightly confused. Why does it look weird? But then I realized, oh, we're in fake Dark World. All right, so Void is now in Go mode with that mirror.
Yeah, the fake Dark World, it's a thing that's really easy to forget if you're like someone like me who has played hundreds of NMG seeds, and then you just start getting into OWG. It's something you have to really kind of wrap your head around. You're gonna put yourself into fake Dark World several times and just be kind of put in a disadvantageous state because of it.
Yep, eventually you get used to it after you run, another 100 Overworld Glitches seeds. Then you'll start to remember, yep, don't die in dungeons. It is bad.
Yeah, death warping becomes a much more kind of thing you have to really weigh the options. Yeah, we're going to see a typical clip in the middle here. Yep.
So, if you don't have mirrorless laser bridge, you gotta go through the long way, as Nobly will be showing us.
And we get to go mode precisely one dungeon today.
What a great seed.
Thanks, Malmo.
Nobly here taking another death warp in Turtle Rock, this time to jump straight back to the big chest entrance. So, not having mirror makes you death warp, but then death warping puts you in fake Dark World, but you can only fix fake Dark World with the mirror, so it is a little bit awkward sometimes.
Yeah, but thankfully in this case we're just gonna. It's not really a detriment because we're just gonna save and quit after the mirror. So. Yeah. And Void Soul has taken down Argus. That is 7 crystals. We've got those 7 dungeons done, and Ganos Tower is also done. It is going to be a quick trip to Ganon.
And we have 17 hearts. Look at that heart counter. Just kind of
That's a lot of health, yeah.
Demonstrating just how much we've had to do this seed. Go pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, we're gonna have some really high check counter. Probably in the 170 range at this point?
Yeah, low 170s I would expect. Now, on Nobly's side is actually going to be probably significantly lower because Nobly just didn't do the bottom of GT, and that's like
50.
Actually. So Nobly will probably, I would guess Nobly is maybe like low 160s.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. It's crazy how you can skip the most of GT basement and still actually be okay.
I mean, no, I would argue that in this in most seeds that would not be okay.
Yeah, I mean, Nobly is still not going up there. I mean, it paid off, but yeah, you don't ideally want to do that. It just happened to work out.
Alright, and Void Soul here on Ganon with the Tempered Sword and Silver Arrows, so this will not be... This is kind of like the ideal fight. Just do some quick dashes here to deal damage inside the Bat Circle. Not quite enough damage to one cycle phase 2. We can just do some more here. It'll be good.
Getting a 2+2 overall. Now we're in phase 3. Yeah, no, this equipment is fine. Tempered Sword Silver, 17 Hearts Blue Mail. This is not a problem at all. Ooh, just off timing on that shot.
Oh, getting a cape spin hit. Unfortunate. Not what you want to see in Silver's fight. Alright, that should be a double. And then,
That was a double, yeah.
Get one more hit.
Just got it. Just shoot it.
No, just shoot.
Blue.
Oh. We should be fine. Gen is going to bottom, right?
I wonder if Void Soul's maybe like way nervous here.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a clip of somebody screwing it up, but there we go. We got the last shot.
That is an exploding pig and gonna be GG for Void Soul as soon as he gets across the Bridge of Perils.
Alright, and Void Soul has finished in first place with a time of 1:46.34. And we are joined here by Void Soul and the Mentor Malmo. GG.
Hey, thank you.
So Malmo, first thing, did it feel amazing to finally have the mirrorless laser bridge pay off really hard?
We were so hyped. Oh, that was amazing.
I know you guys were going over it before the race, so it must be really great to have that just pay off immediately.
That was a last minute tech. And the funny thing is Nobly was in there too, and I was about to teach it to him, but there wasn't enough time.
Yeah, that's 2 for 2 on tricks I've been taught before the race where they ended up being for that seed. Thankfully, I didn't have to do this one 10 times, but...
What was the other one?
The super jump on a gloveless seed from our race.
Oh yeah. The eight times voiding out. Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't see too many of those, but we still
did it once.
Yeah.
By accident.
Yeah, I didn't. I meant to enter Hera and fix the camera, but I didn't. And I was like, well, I gotta make a name for myself, so I guess I'll just do it, just to go for it.
They take advantage of it when I guess you go for it at that point, yeah.
You'll lean into it.
Exactly.
Yep, so Nobly is now just finishing up Swamp Palace and heading over to Ganon as well.
I figured it had to be close, because there weren't that many locations left. And our main advantage was not full clearing Turtle Rock.
The crazy thing is, I'll talk to Nobly about this, but he skipped the basement of GT.
Though entirely?
Oh.
Because there was a bad GT.
He got the big key and he just left, and he just like started going up the tower and then never went back.
That's a play. That's a play.
It's a spicy play, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even remember if there was anything down there. I don't think.
Oh,
no, there wasn't really anything.
There was a lamp in Stalfos room, and like that's it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The lamp at least put the laser bridge in logic. I don't think we would have gone that way if we didn't have a lamp.
Yeah, that was. I still can't believe that mirror was on laser bridge.
I mean, the seed at the start, you know, there was lots of stuff. There's like a hammer, hook shot, swords. You have pretty much almost everything you need. I think by about 45 minutes in, so that was kind of like the point where you had everything. You got Moon Pearl and you're heading Dark World. So how did you feel? How did you feel at 45 minutes when you just get Pearl?
It was definitely kind of a feeling of so much being available that there might as well be nothing available. There were so many choices to make, and I didn't know which way to go. I was just trying to cover as much ground as I could, trying to go from one dungeon to the next, doing crystals when I could.
We really wanted Moon Pearl Go mode because that would have been so cool.
Yeah.
And then we went to GT. We went to GT because we needed that is Kane required intel before anything else.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was purely an information play, not a looking for items.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, we were looking to see if that cane was gonna be needed or not.
So actually, after Ice Armos, you wound up with 0 arrows. I noticed. Would you have climbed the tower if you had more arrows? Oh no, Nobly.
Oh, nobody took a Ganon hug. Oh no.
Uh-oh. Yeah, That's a hard call. Probably
Oh, no.
not. I probably would have started doing it and then realized, had Momo not said something about me not having arrows. Yeah, it was just once it didn't turn up there, it was just all right, we're gonna go next. I don't even know if I was really considering the climb at that point.
I mean, it was all in logic.
Yeah.
So I think leaving with 0 arrows is the right thing to do instead of trying to like sit at Mimic Clip for 2 minutes.
Right, yeah, especially since I'm not very quick with Mimic Clip. I'll get it, but it's not a quick process.
And not only that, but you're doing a kind of low percent GT climb compared to probably coming back with the Tempered Sword and Silver
Yeah.
Arrow, Cane of Samaria.
Right.
All of those things that
Although-
would have been nice weren't there.
We wound up not getting Tempered Sword until close to the end anyway.
It's
Right,
true.
yeah.
But we didn't know that. We had the entire Dark World available.
Yeah.
Surely there's one sword there.
Yeah, that was a very front-loaded seed, which was nice after some of the seeds we've seen where it's been very stingy with doling out the items. I will say I was getting very worried right at the beginning when it was starting to look like we were going to last location something, but then we found the bow in King's Tomb and immediately went to Eastern and then found the Moon Pearl, so then I started feeling a little bit more confident.
Yeah, found your Sphere 1 Moon Pearl in Eastern Big, but you had to get a nice push towards that dungeon. Yeah.
Right, yeah, exactly.
I was once again hoping for mitts leading to the Moon Pearl on Cold Stare, but sadly it wasn't to be.
I mean, it feels like you wish terrible things on people who play your seeds, Malmo.
The Moon Pearl on Cold Stare is a really cool location. I just want to see once. And it wasn't
Have we-
terrible. We had good stuff. Half Magic, Fire Rod, Master Sword, Blue Mail. So that's not even terrible. That's just cool.
Yeah.
Like,
It'd
I
be
would've
cool
just
to see a
done it.
Forced Bunny Dungeon Revival thing. Has that happened yet this tournament?
Forced, I don't think so, but Nobly did some sequence breaks with Big Flute, which I will be discussing with him in the interview, potentially,
Oh, that's really cool.
now that Nobly has finished.
I'm excited for
GG
the rewatch.
Nobly.
GG to Nobly.
We've got an official time on racetime.gg of 1 hour, 52 minutes, and 52 seconds. GG to both of our runners and mentors here today.
And Nobly is here now, so GG.
GG.
So, that mirror location, that's fun.
Yeah, it's funny. Especially since we were talking about this, like, right before the race. We were, like, going through the clip to get to Laser Bridge without the mirror, with Malmo.
Yep, so in the end, Voids01 did the clip, and you guys went in through the front. Please don't go through the front. So Voids01 did the clip and got straight to Laser Bridge, got the mirror.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I felt so good in the early game. And then my brain just melted and was thinking, okay, what if this is the one time where Malmo's probably just teaching him the clip to go through Laser Bridge and it's there, and I'm just gonna avoid it because if it's... I don't know. And then I started doing dumb stuff like going fire.
Well, you both avoided it for about as long as possible, honestly.
What happened with the thing when I went back out, though? Why was it fake light all of a sudden?
Because you died. You took a death in the roller room.
Yeah.
So
Why
that
would it
sets
make...
it to that. I mean, that just puts you in fake light world, or fake dark world.
Why would it do that? Is
Uh,
that an Overworld Glitch thing?
Yes, so that is behavior in vanilla that we replicate in Overworld Glitches because it is closer to the vanilla game.
That's
That also happened. That also happened when you fake footed to Thieves Town. You went
Yeah.
in, took a death for the bunny revival, and that puts you in fake dark world as well.
Yeah, that one I knew, but I didn't know about the one in Third Rock because I went through the portal like normal. I thought it only happened when you clicked into like Dark World. That was a mess as well.
Oh no, the game doesn't care about how you get into Dark World. It's just if you die in Dark World Dungeon and AGO1 is not dead, then you get fake Dark World.
Yeah.
Actually, in Rando it is AGO1 is not dead and you don't have the mirror because the conditions to respawn on Pyramid are stricter.
Okay. If
Yeah,
you
I-
can just fix it anyway.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter.
So I have to ask then, Nobly, were you feeling you're significantly behind at some point? Because we got to where we were looking at like GT in particular. You opted to not check a significant chunk of the basement.
Yeah, the thing is that I was feeling really good at that point, and I was like, okay, it's just a clip away to go back into TR. It doesn't really matter. If it's upstairs, it's upstairs. And then when I've done that, I was like, I want to do like the purple chest when I found the flute. And when I did that, I ended up going into Mire, and that's when everything went well. Everything went wrong there. And I was like, it's probably going to be in TR, and Obscure was like, we should do TR. And I was like, but Pod's green pen. Pod always has the stuff, you know? And in Pod felt bad, and
Yeah, the overall kind of like time spent checking stuff was very similar. Like at the end, you both went to TR at about the same time, and so it's like the main difference came from Nobly doing Mire, and Voids01 did GT Basement, and so that was kind of like the thing that you did that the other one didn't do. But then pretty much everything else was shared.
yeah,
and except for the TR routing at the end.
My thought was, okay, because I skipped out on Hookshot Cave earlier. I was like, okay, if Mirror is up there, because I was like, I've done all the 6 dungeons, and I was like starting to think, okay, they probably routed in Hookshot Cave. If it's there, I lost. So I was like, at that point, I started like putting them inside my head and started to say to Obscure, okay, we have to do things that they haven't done, and then started going to Mire, going to this, going to that, all of those not so quick checks, which kind of put us far behind, I think. GT was no way I was going to. I was at that point, if it's GT, it's too easy.
Yeah, it wound up being mostly junk anyway, so it was actually a good decision. Although I personally would never, ever have made that decision to skip it on GT Basement. It's so many items.
Yeah,
To be fair, I lose so many games on GT skips. AD keys, I skip left side and get punished with small key to castle tower there. Every seed, so...
So I'm guessing, is that just like a general philosophy of yours to just kind of like not necessarily do left side GT?
Yeah. Especially when I can climb it. When I can climb it, I'll rather climb it and take my loss.
Fair
Basically.
enough.
For some reason. I've been told off so many times by Obscure though. For doing that. In general.
I don't know, I actually think it was not, like, that is not like an incorrect thing to do, especially if you feel behind or like you need to start gambling or saving time in places. Then sure, like, go ahead and just like climb up the tower and start doing other stuff, because it isn't actually too hard to get back there if it winds up being there.
When I was in GT, I felt ahead, so... But it ended up being a mess when I found the flute. Because I think that we were gonna do Hookshot Cave after GT. But since we found the flute, it was looking more appealing to activate the flute and do purple chest and hand pegs and Mire Shed.
Actually, yeah, so Mire Shed is kind of typically done much earlier, like in the standard Dark World loop. So when you went down to Digging Game, we were expecting also a Mire Shed check, but then you kind of didn't go into Mire. So that's like sort of more typical routing, is to also get the Mire stuff and check the medallion on the way.
Yeah, but I didn't want to deal with the Mire escape thing at that point.
It's just a standard teleport.
Yeah, because we were set on going to Ice Palace.
Oh.
Because we were picking up this... Because we had those early checks. By the way, is King's Tomb locked behind Titans?
No.
No.
No, okay.
That comes
Because-
to logic.
Yeah. Because Obscure was thinking that was locked behind Myths.
That is old logic. Like, V30 had that locked behind Myths, but then we added the equipment to logic because everyone was doing it anyway.
Yeah, because Obscure is still on V30 logic. for some reason.
Might need to get that flipper wrap
Yeah,
then.
he's got to get himself updated, I think. Yeah, apply the V31 patch.
There's some important stuff.
Apply the patch.
You got to get that water walk to Waterfall Fairy in Logic too,
Oh yeah.
because that was out of Logic when you did the tournament.
Okay. Yeah.
They just fixed the Desert Eagle pack. Thanks, Spleety, to add that back to the Logic.
Oh, is that so? That's good.
Wow.
Spleety took over the pack, so
Oh.
Desert Eagle is now up to date if you want to use that tracker.
Oh, nice.
I will have to
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah, I'm using Dunka. It was showing off as in Logic for Dunka's tracker though.
Yeah.
I
The only thing
think-
that Dunker's tracker misses is like being able to do Lamo without gloves.
Yeah, I think that's the one big error in Dunkas with OWG right now.
Okay, I think we are just about ready to start wrapping up. Do you have any final thoughts on the seed, either the runners or the mentors?
Yeah, Obscure told me off when I went to Huxel Cave and picked up my Red Cane and didn't go to Turtle Rock. I should have gone Turtle Rock at that point though.
Yeah, I was waiting. I was trying to avoid going into Turtle Rock until I could at least maybe find the Ice Rod, so that I knew if I had to go in there, it was a one and done situation. But eventually, there was just so little left that. I mean, I don't even. Did you end up finding that at all, Nobly? The Ice
Yeah,
Rod?
Ice Rod is in front of Turtle Rock.
Oh.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
That was a great moment because he picked it up and Espeon's like, "Oh, look what he picked up." I'm like, "Oh, that's the ice rod. Let's put the mirror on Cinaeth. Let's go." And then right after that, Voids01, you were getting into Laser Bridge. I'm like, "Oh, there's the mirror. Never mind."
That's actually amazing because what that means is that the wrap into Laser Bridge actually did win the race.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Because
think
it
Oh,
sounds like we were
100%.
picking that up at the same time. Our
Yeah,
first
pretty much.
items in Turtle Rock, they just happened to be the mirror was in the back instead of the front.
yeah,
Yeah,
if you didn't clip in, then or if you didn't clip in a laser bridge, then this would have been super close, like within I don't know 30 seconds of difference.
Yeah,
I would
fight
guess.
close.
Yeah, but also the thing that I died like Death Warp to go out and do jump down from the bridge though as well. Cost me some time as well. At that point I should have just kept going, but I was like I didn't think that because I didn't know about the thing that puts you in fake light wall, so that was a mess. If I knew that I would have just gone straight from front and gone onwards.
Yeah, it's burned me a few times too.
At least learning stuff is nice to know.
Yeah, it's the whole point of the tournament, man.
I mean, I'm not good with clips. I think I messed up one earlier. Something.
We had one soft lock.
Yeah.
Oh, I had like 2-3 going to Graveyard Ledge. Oh.
That one's tricky, yeah, with all the diagonals and...
The thing is,
the right thing
I
in the
was-
air and-
the first time I did the King's Tomb clip, first try, no problem. Going back there to do Graveyard Ledge in the end, soft lock. I was like, okay, what am I doing wrong? And he's like, are you holding the right inputs? And I was like, yeah, I'm holding upright and releasing up. He's like, oh, it's the other way around. Oh, you're not kidding me.
Upright is the swordless method.
Oh man.
Just do it right for him. Just do the right inputs. It's
I mean,
easy.
there's so many setups to remember that it can get really tricky
Mhm.
to
It's
learn
always
everything.
the irregular ones that get you to the one that don't follow the rules that every other teleport in the game follows.
Yeah.
hmm
I mean, I'm gonna be worried when I don't have my sword, because that's when things get...
Well, we have a whole week of interim, and there's also another interim week where we'll be putting up asyncs and people can learn the swordless strats. There's really only like 5 of them you have to learn.
Yeah, I might do another like short stream. It'll probably only be I don't know half an hour or maybe an hour at most, just like talking about the differences between Assured Sword and Rando Swords,
Mhm.
and just basically going over like the different clips that you might have to do, some replacements for spin speed clips that you do early on. For instance, like the one to Graveyard Wedge is a pretty big one. And then some possible routing differences. Like
And the Death Mountain Descent.
Yeah, Death Mountain Descent, that one too. And then like routing, Death Mountain gets devalued a little bit just because you don't have a sword to do Hera and Paradox Cave. But that's all.
Okay.
Yeah, but Harry, you can just clip from the other side though, and just get straight in.
Yeah, but you don't have a weapon.
Sure, but
for
you-
Moldorm.
Right, but you don't have
you
a
can't
weapon to
kill
kill Moldorm.
You can't even hit the switch. Like that's the real issue.
Yeah,
You can't do anything in Hera until you have at least something.
well, that's true, but I mean, you can hit the switches with bombs and stuff. So.
Assuming you have bombs.
Sure, but like the whole point of that route is to get bombs from Graveyard Wedge.
Yeah. And that
Oh.
way you're guaranteeing a double dip into Hera since you don't have a sword to kill Moldorm.
Wait.
Especially if it's crystal.
That's interesting. I mean, I never route to get bombs from Graveyard Ledge at all.
It's a good backup. Guaranteed 3 bombs because you have to spend 1 to check the item there, but
I
guess.
think that just about wraps up everything. So thanks everybody for watching. I've been Espeon with Adilor as my co-com.
Yep, it has been a real pleasure. This is a good race. I'm glad I was able to commentators curse it to a certain degree. I think it worked out well. Throwing a couple of quick links in the chat there. If you're not familiar with the Go Mode podcast, you're wondering why you're here and what it is, check out the podcast. We release episodes every other Wednesday. It is a podcast based entirely around Link to the Past Randomizer. Check us out. You might learn a few things. And feel free to come hang out with us on our Discord. We're a friendly bunch, and we'll be happy to have you.
And please give our runners and mentors a follow. So the runners are Nobly, Foreign, and Voids01 with the zeros. And then our mentors have been Malmo and Obscure. And thanks
And we do
to
have...
thanks
Go ahead.
also to our tracker, who is I should know. Our tracker is Tomaltouch13. Thank you so much. And Cinaeth also as our restreamer for pulling this together on like half an hour's notice. We kind of like bootlegged the start of this and we were a little bit late, but we pulled it together in the end.
And one final note, as far as upcoming races, we have one later today at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. So if you want to see some more of our Week 2 Overworld Glitches Tournament action, feel free to join us back here in a couple hours and change, and we'll have another race for you to watch.
Take care, everyone.